Hello and welcome. As a hotel AI expert with extensive experience in modern hospitality, I am absolutely delighted to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. We're here to support your professional growth, and today we're diving into a topic that is absolutely critical for any successful hotel: building that next generation of leadership from within. Let's explore the blueprint.
What we're talking about here is fundamental to the long-term health of any hotel. It's about having a solid, forward-thinking plan for who comes next. So let's get right into it. Okay, first things first, succession planning. This isn't just some task for the HR department to check off a list, not at all. It's a core business strategy. You should think of it as building the very foundation that keeps the hotel strong for years and years to come. So what's the real difference between a good hotel and a truly great one? Well, great hotels don't start scrambling when a key manager suddenly resigns. They're not caught off guard. See, they're already cultivating their next leaders. It's this crucial shift in mindset from reactive crisis management to proactive strategic development. But what happens when you don't have a plan? The cost of just doing nothing, it's huge. A leadership vacuum isn't just a temporary hiccup. It can cause real lasting damage to your entire operation. Just let this sink in. Without deliberate planning, leadership gaps can disrupt operations, weaken morale, and compromise service quality. It's like a domino effect, right? It just ripples through everything, touching your staff, your guests, and of course, your bottom line. Let's break that down a bit. First, you get operational disruption. Standards start to slip. Then, morale just plummets when teams feel like they're flying blind with no direction. It inevitably leads to a drop in service quality, the absolute lifeblood of our industry. And finally, and this one is huge, all that priceless institutional knowledge just walks right out the door. So, how do we avoid all this chaos? That's the big question. It all starts with a smart, fair, and structured way of identifying the future leaders, who are probably already working on our teams right now. The keywords to really focus on here are systematic and process. This isn't about guesswork, and it is definitely not about picking favorites. It is a deliberate, thought-out method for spotting and then developing people who can step up into those key roles, from a supervisor all the way to the very top. So, how do you get your team to actually trust the process? Well, you do it by making it credible and objective. This means using a mix of tools. Looking at past performance, yes, but also assessing future potential and really observing those key leadership behaviors. And the whole thing has to be transparent and fair so everyone feels they have a real shot. Now, this is a really interesting and crucial distinction. Think about it. A fantastic front desk agent isn't automatically your next great front office manager. Performance evaluations tell us how well someone is doing their job today. Potential assessments, on the other hand, help us identify the capabilities for the future. Things like strategic thinking, problem solving, emotional intelligence, the things that predict success in a bigger, more complex role. Okay, so once we've identified these high potential employees, the next critical phase begins: development. We can't simply anoint them as future leaders and just hope for the best. We have to actively equip them for the journey ahead. And that journey needs a roadmap. It really does. It starts with a personalized plan for each person. Then you layer on mentoring and training. But crucially, you have to give them real-world experience, job rotations, special projects, things that are actually going to stretch their skills and build their confidence for what's next. But a development program only works if people are actually bought in, right? It has to connect with their own career goals. So the big question is, how do you bridge that gap between what the hotel needs and what your people want for themselves? The answer really lies in communication. It's all about those regular, honest conversations where managers listen to an employee's ambitions and then discuss how those align with the hotel's future. These conversations, they are the glue that holds this entire process together. They build engagement and show employees they're truly valued. So, after all this work, what's the real payoff? Well, it's much bigger than just filling a vacant spot on the org chart. When you invest in your people like this, you're building a fundamentally stronger and more resilient hotel for the long haul. The benefits are just huge. You make sure operations run smoothly, even during a transition. You sustain that 5-star service your guests love. You become more adaptable and competitive with a whole pipeline full of diverse leaders. You keep your best knowledge in-house. In short, you build a real, lasting competitive advantage.
And maybe the most important thing to remember is that this is a cycle, not a one-time project. It needs constant attention, constant adjustment. That ongoing commitment to growing your own people is what truly separates a good hotel from a legendary one. So, as you all move forward in your careers, I want you to carry this question with you. Because true leadership isn't just about your own success. It is about identifying and nurturing the potential in others, ensuring that the legacy of excellence continues long after you've moved on.